Ding 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 ding
Crop,
ding ding ding
clip,
ding 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 ding
crop,
ding 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 ding
clip,
ding
crop,
ding
clip,
ding
crop,
ding
clip,
ding
crop,
ding ding ding
clip,
ding ding
crop,
ding
clip, crop.
ding ding ding.
So,
What the
yeah,
fuck was that?
yours was unbelievably late, and once again, son, the early bird gets the worm, and you've always been one on the lazy side, more on the slow side, and I don't.
You
I'm not
said
really
you'd
sure
never
what to
fault
do
me
with you
for it
anymore.
though.
I'm not faulting you for it, I'm just mentioning it. That's not a fault. I haven't issued a judgment, and there certainly hasn't been a verdict. I'm just saying,
Well,
you're a
it
little
sounds like you have a
slow.
verdict. You just keep it to yourself.
It's if a verdict's kept to myself, is it a verdict? If a verdict falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, is there a verdict that fell?
I think if the forest is making decisions about other subjects, it doesn't necessarily have to reveal that one of its trees fell. But it can certainly use that information to make judgments. I'd say.
I believe you're missing the tree for the forest. Focus on your trees, son. Focus on what's ahead of you. You're thinking of a big wide world
I
around that you
tried,
don't
Pa.
understand.
It's just too hard sometimes. I'm a really detail orientated person.
Plenty of cows out there, son.
I'm not allowed to think.
Well, no, son. I would say you are allowed to think. I feel like you just often opt not to.
And it hurts when I do, so I kind of stay away from it.
Now, when you say it hurts to think, I don't want to rush to a conclusion. You're talking about physical pain, like
All
you feel
kinds.
physical.
Yeah, it's a big burden, you know. I kind of stay away from it if I can.
Well, son, I brought you up in this world so that you could navigate this world on your own as a self-sufficient man.
Yeah, and you've done a great
our
job
society.
taking care of me. I sure
With
do appreciate it.
responsibilities. Well, honestly, son, if you're telling me it's painful to think, I honestly think myself that I have not done as admirable of a job as you're describing me.
No, I think you've done the best that any dad could have done. You know, you've always given me things to do. I'm always got something. You know, especially with my hands, I'm always doing something with my hands. It's very like you always give me opportunities to kind of like like fix up the shed or go run the fence or whatever really needs to get done. Yeah, and I'm always busy, and I just get up in the morning, go do my chores, and go to bed. And
Yes, but son, eventually I would like you to have a place of your own. Do you catch what?
you mean like
You understand what I'm?
here, right? Like
Well, no. Here is my home.
yeah, well, yeah, it's my home
And-
too.
It has been your home. It was your home, but you are now of an age that perhaps you would consider finding a new home just for you.
I'm not really putting 2 and 3 together here.
Well, and I'm not one of the people. I believe we are individuals and with different individual needs. But when I look at you and I look at every other boy and every other son that every other father has, I notice there are some discrepancies. I
how do
find
you
that
figure?
there is something. Well, I find that there's a lacking motivation to go out on your own and build your own life.
Well,
I don't
why would
mind giving you work
I got
around
everything
the
I need
farm,
right here.
but
I
Yes,
got
you have
great company.
every-
Ma always makes me like everything I could ever eat. So there's always more.
sure, and your mother loves you, and she will never ever.
And the cows and I
Kick you
are
out,
our
of
best of
course,
friends.
but-
I don't. like I don't see really why
Sure,
I
sure.
need to go
But
out.
son, has it ever occurred to you, has it ever crossed your mind that those cows are my friends? And that maybe you need to go find cows to be friends of your own?
Well,
Plenty of cows out there, son.
yeah, but
Plenty of cows.
I thought they were our cows.
When you were a wee little boy, no higher than a knee high on a grasshopper, they were our cows, yes, they were our cows. But son, you are now taller than a tree trunk. You are now wider than the cows you befriend. You are fully grown and fully capable to go and have your own cows. So when you were a child, I said these were your cows too. As a father should, I provide for the house. But you are now of the age to be a father yourself and to go and acquire your own. And because of that, are you really? I really don't think I should be made to say this. I feel like I've gone beyond implying, and I feel like should I speak any further, it will be quite pointed and potentially critical.
Well, if you want me to go out and get something or go find something, I can go do that. I guess just point me in the right direction. I'll go get it.
Well, again, that's just it, son. And this is where I feel I have maybe not done my job, and I do apologize for whatever failings I've had. But you are supposed to find your own way to get to the things that you want in this life. Yes, yes. You want to do something on your own, and then you figure out the way, you find the road to get you there, you know? But that is for you to decide and for you to figure out.
You're saying that from time to time, I should look for, motivation within myself.
Can I cut you off here?
Or what?
Not from time to time. From time to time is a temporary sentiment, and I'm really saying
Sure.
This needs to be a permanent change, effective immediately.
Wow.
In perpetuity.
It's all so sudden.
Well, I think I've tried to bring this up a number of times.
And I've cut you off every time. I've always got stuff to do. I can't hang around too long during the day.
And I know you always do, and you're always busy. But today, when you got up and you befriended the cows and you got the milk and you came in the house and everything, I figured it's time to interrupt your work schedule for just a bit because this will never end, and maybe you should stop.
I'm just struggling to find what's wrong with just taking a father figure, making it the center of my life, and just never questioning it and always following what he says.
Well, I'll put it bluntly. I'm sick of seeing you at my dining table. I'm sick of seeing you milk the cows. Today, I looked out the window and saw you whistling, and I figured, what would be the best blessing in my life currently is if I never have to hear that whistle again.
The cows love my whistling.
I'm sure they do, and I'm sure it's great. I think really,
the corn grows taller when I whistle around it.
And
I've done the A/B testing,
and that means your corn, your own, will be even better. I really think the best way to get this across to you, son, is I think I've had enough.
Enough of what, Pa?
I think I've had enough of you. Like, I've entertained you for long enough, and I think I would rather be done with you, honestly.
Well, I haven't felt very entertained. You never tell me bedtime stories anymore. I don't know how you've been entertaining me.
Well, son, that was for when you were in the single digits, and now that you're entering your 30s, once again and for the last time, God, I hope so, you will not be getting another bedtime story in your life. You should be giving bedtime stories. This is the problem. This
Well,
is
I'm sorry to hear
exactly
that.
the problem that I'm getting to is I cannot stand you as a human being. I cannot tolerate your existence in my life. And frankly, son, I love you, but you need to go. Just go anywhere.
I'm so sorry to whatever I've done.
I don't want you to be sorry, and it's not about what
I
you've
always tried
done,
to
but
be a
about what
good
you
son.
haven't done.
I don't.
And you were terrific at it 15 years ago, and I'm just, you know what? I will take responsibility here. It's not just you, it's me. I have just had enough. I've seen enough. I've had my quota filled of you for a lifetime, and it's nobody's fault, really. It just happens. I think it's just time for it to end. Seeing you eating lunch with us was enough for me. I said this was the last time I want to call you in for lunch. And honestly, I don't want you to be here for supper. I would like you to just go. I think I'm done, and I think it's okay to be done. And frankly, if I never have to hear from you again, I think that will be for the best. I think we have earned that, your mother and I. We have earned that we shouldn't have to really ever really consider you again in our lives.
But I'm your boy. I'm your son.
Yes, and I was getting to that. See, last Sunday I went down to the bank and I looked at our accounts, and then I went down to the clerks and I was doing some investigating of how we can remedy this situation. And I was going to bring this up a separate time. This was meant to be done in phases, son, and I do apologize. But, well, it just has to be today, I suppose. And there's no easy way to have this conversation. But I was entertaining, perhaps, that maybe, just possibly, we don't need to rush a certain solution necessarily, but I was thinking it might be a very agreeable for both parties here, being your mother and I, and then you on the other side. If we, well, frankly, if not we anymore, if let's say you, if you could maybe take on a different name.
A different name.
Preferably just a family name, a surname that has nothing to do with ours. And I don't need to get into the legality of it. Technically, when I've been meeting with my lawyers about it.
I'm understanding now.
Yes,
I understand.
Well, good. Because I didn't want to get into the legalistics of it. It sounds much harsher than it is. We're just changing the name, really, at the end of the day. And that is honestly, well, what a good bit of fun that is.
You don't
get to
want
choose your
me
name
anymore. After all I've done, this is it.
Well, yes, and you don't need to get nasty, son. You haven't really done much.
I don't think you think I'm just gonna, just accept this?
Preferably, yes. That was in my wildest dreams. You would just accept this.
This is enraging. You know what? I challenge you to a duel for the whole ranch and for Ma.
Let me get this straight.
You heard me.
Son, you are challenging me to a duel, like a duel to the death?
A duel
kind of duel?
To the death.
Now, son, you realize you've never shot a pistol in your life?
Oh, but I'm a dead ringer with a water gun.
Son, for the last time, squeezing your armpits in the bathtub is not a water gun. And when we said that when you were 7, it was cute and adorable. But now that you're 36 years old, it honestly is just kind of pathetic.
I don't want to hear any more
I don't
stories or or
I don't-
similes or metaphors or anything. Go and get your gun.
Those are very good
I'll
words,
get
son.
mine,
If you had said
and
more
meet
things
me
like
out
that,
in the
maybe I'd keep you
backyard,
around.
And we're gonna settle this like men.
Now, let me just, before we get ahead of ourselves, I just want to state for the record, I don't want you dead, son. I just don't want to be in
Well,
your life
that's the way it
anymore.
sounded
and
to
I
me,
just,
so I
and I
figure
just don't want you in my life anymore.
Either I get to
I just
stay,
don't want to live
or
with you
you get to
anymore.
get rid of your son for real.
Okay, now say I indulge this fantastical notion. If you kill me, what happens to the ranch? What happens to Ma?
Oh, I can take care of it just fine.
But how will you explain this to your mother, that you've slain your father in cold blood?
I'll say you slipped on it and the bullet was on the ground.
So you won't explain the nature of the duel. Now,
Oh
okay,
no, I
very
don't think I could
interesting.
do that. That would break her heart.
So now, if let's just look at it from the other side. There are two possibilities. There are two outcomes from this event here. Say by some, and this might seem outlandish,
Go ahead.
turn of events that, I kill you. How am I, do you think, to explain this to your mother, that I have now slain our son, who has, by all accounts, sucked us dry for the past 15 years, and deserved to die in almost every other turn of speak, but not something we ultimately wanted as parents? And how am I supposed to go and console my wife about this?
Well, Pa, if I'm such a big hassle and burden on you two that you make me out to be, I'm sure she'll be glad I'm gone.
Now, and this is interesting. Say that she's glad that you're gone. Well, say that I'm glad. I'm just spitballing here. How then are we supposed to take this to the authorities, who will no doubt find out about a missing son of ours?
Well, seeing as I only have cows for friends, I never leave the ranch, and I barely, like I said, I wake up, I do my chores, and I go to bed. There's no one who knows I'm really here anymore. So it sounds like
I
you don't
see.
have much of a problem at all.
So, what you're saying is we could easily cover up and say you've just left and nobody will be able to dispute the difference.
That's what I'm saying. Now go get your gun.
Nobody will spot the
Stop beating
the
around the
elephant in
bush.
room. All right, so now let me just make sure I think this through, because unlike you, I do enjoy a good thought, and I do find it useful, not to rub salt in the wound, of course. So say we get this done, your mother and I are ecstatic, you're out of our lives, and you're out of life itself. You've been extinguished as a sad, pathetic flame that should never have been lit, and never have really been started in the first place. And for that, we've corrected an original sin that we've made in our marriage. Say we get all that done, and say that, the authorities are none the wiser, and nobody cares.
Go ahead.
Well,
You're
now,
taking
your
long
mother
enough to
and I
get to
w-
the point.
Your mother and I would just really love to have a child. And I just want to just broach the topic, since you won't be around to see it. How you would, if you would, we would need to use your room again, of course, and, or we'd need to remove all your things, and can't have them anymore. And, well, we would really love to have a little boy, and try at it again, take two, so to speak, and hopefully this will be a much better attempt than we just got.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I was just trying in the name of being honest and open with you, as we always have been, and fair. If you wouldn't mind.
Apparently not
now,
open at all.
Now, well, let me just get to the question. We'll probably be reusing your room, and we'll be tossing your stuff, but you do have a couple old toys that you haven't used since you were, teething, and times are hard these days, and we were thinking, well, we could just reuse them, and You know, I know how attached you are to them, and I just wanted to make sure you're
trying
okay
to
with
ask
that.
my permission to use my stuff that you're gonna just
I would, well, be honest with
foist
you.
on my younger the sibling? Like,
Listen, I am a man who wants to.
you know
I
how
don't want
much
to rob.
I begged for a sibling as a child. You think I
Well, we
like being
couldn't-
friends with cows?
Well, we couldn't give you a sibling, son. You are not equipped to handle it mentally, emotionally, or physically. You would be a complete disappointment as an older sibling. You would be a rudderless, boat in front, a tugboat, and not being able to lead them anywhere. You wouldn't be the cart before the horse. You wouldn't even have wheels. You'd be the worst person to be in front on the vanguard of our family line. We couldn't have that happen. You have to understand our position on this matter.
I've heard enough. I can't.
So,
I can't
but
listen
your
to this
blessing
drivel
would be
anymore.
appreciated
I'm going,
just because I'm
you know,
a fair man.
I'm going. You won't duel me like a man. You won't like own up to
All
your,
right, son.
your
All right,
parenting
son.
like
All right,
a
son.
man.
Hold
I'm
on,
just gonna
hold
go,
on.
and I'm
Hold
going
on,
because I
hold your
realize
horses.
how much
Hold
of
your horses.
how much
The
of
pistols
a
are right
bad
here.
father you are, and
Well, I
I'm
got
gonna
the
change
pistols
my name
right
too,
here.
just like you want, Father. I'm
I
gonna
got-
change
no, I
my
got the-
name.
well, hold
Here
on.
I
No,
go.
no,
no.
no.
I don't
I got
want
the
you,
pistols.
You take
I got the
like
pistols.
20 minutes to get
Here's-
to a
here's-
point with every freaking time you start talking out of that.
Son, your lack of
pig hole
patience
of a
is one of
mouth
the
of
reasons
yours.
why you need to die. But I have the pistols right here, and the backyard is currently unscheduled. It is completely open for our endeavor.
All
Why
right, of
don't
all the
you
other
just let-
sons you murder.
Let's let cooler heads prevail and just pick up these guns and have a go at each other, huh? We don't need to do anything hasty like run off at this point. We're past that point.
Well,
now.
I'm annoyed I had to raise my voice to get anywhere with you, but let's get it done, man.
I understand. Let's not. So as you would say, beat around the bush. What a wonderful phrase that was. Here, pick your pistol. Pick your pistol. Here you go.
All right, finally.
Are you sure about that one?
But you're
You sure
back to
about that
mine.
one? All right then. 10 paces. Here we go.
All right.
Now, remember, 2 comes after 1 and 3 comes after 2. You know how it goes, and we go to 10.
I think I can match your numbers.
All right then. Here we go. A 1,
One, two,
2,
three,
3,
four,
4, 5, 6, 7,
7, 8,
9,
10.
Fuck. 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 Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off.